What is up, everybody? It's your boy Doody back again with another video, and this time we're taking a look at our boy DSP's daily rap video after the momentous event of Wings of Redemption waddling his big self onto the Level 1 podcast. And man, showing that even having two locales, two of the biggest locales on the internet, they can still manage to make things super boring. That's right, the podcast, the interview with Soldo. There were a couple good takeaways. Phil's going to tell you how amazing it was. The content was super boring and dumb. And of course, Phil shot himself in the foot yet again. That's right, he exposed multiple things, which if you watch any of my clips, you would see that they're out there. So let's see what he has to say. And yeah, I'll provide some of my input, my takes on the Level 1 Ton podcast.
Good evening, everyone. Phil here, and welcome to the Daily Wrap for what was Monday, the 27th of October, 2025. A horrible disaster day. A day that everything went wrong. I really thought that doing another interview was going to be the right way to branch out and make good content. Once again, I had a gross miscalculation. Everyone is angry at me now because, once again, it was just another, mistake, a bait and switch. And I just have to hope that you guys will forgive me. Is what I would have said if I was an idiot. But things have changed. A lot of things have changed in the last couple of years, if you haven't noticed around here. But notably, I make better decisions. I have learned from past mistakes. And I'm doing things now that are beneficial for everyone. For myself, for my community, and even for others. Today was a very special day because on a very special edition of the Level 1 podcast, for the first time ever in history, after years of it being requested, today I had a conversation with Wings of Redemption. It lasted about 2 hours long. It was a special show because I built it up for about 40 minutes. We hung out with Wings for 2 hours. I did a decompress for an hour. And then we even did a special edition of DSP Tries It, Domino's Pizza, to end the stream. I have this live on the channel right now as a super stream. It's 4 or 5 hours, okay? You can check it out right now if you want. It's live. I'm not going to edit anything out of it because I'd rather just have it be the unedited version for all of you to watch and enjoy, much like I've done all my interviews, like the Keem interview, the Craig interview, all those interviews that I did previous, I did the same way. So I'm just going to leave it up there as its own video to watch. I even made it the featured video on the channel, and I probably will have it as the featured video on the channel for a little bit, because I think it actually went that well. Even though Wings and I are not super similar, we've been through a lot of similar things. We had a lot to say about content creation and being YouTubers, trolling. We actually talked about each other's different memes and things. Man, there was a lot. It was just a lot discussed. And rather than me sit here and be like, oh, there was this and there was this and there was this, I'd just rather you watch it. Just watch it and enjoy it. By the way, we timestamped it. So someone timestamped in the comments, this is when the interview starts. If you don't care about the build-up, look at the comments on the video. Just click on the timestamp. You'll go right to when the interview starts with Wings, and it's about 2 hours long. Okay, so that'll save you some time. I pinned it as the pinned comment, so you can save yourself some time. So, I hope you'll give it a look. Leave comments. Let me know what you think. I need feedback. Did you like it? If you liked it, what did you like about it? Is there something you didn't like about it? Is there something that could have been improved? Would you like to see more of that kind of content? If so, is it with Wings? Is it with other people? Let me know. Would you like to see more content with Wings that's not just that interview, but maybe topic stuff, gameplay stuff? I want to hear your feedback, all right? I actually really enjoyed myself today because a lot of people were like, are you nervous or not? I was like, no. You want to know what I'm nervous about? Just getting the tech to work. Literally just getting the technology to work is the stressful part for me, not the actual, I'm nervous about interviewing Wings and talking to him. Not at all. Not in the least. To me, it was just, is the tech going to work? And the tech worked. A couple things I wish I tweaked a little better. Like, for example, Wings on stream, I accidentally left the bottom of the Discord window visible, and I wish I'd clipped that up earlier. I noticed it during the interview, and I clipped it up halfway in the interview. Wish I did it earlier. And the audio levels, it's always a tough thing, because I can never tell how loud the other person is, because I'm wearing headphones. So I wish I'd made Wings either a little lower or myself a little louder. Outside of that...
All right, Phil, no one gives a shit. Good God. Good God, man. You sound so long-winded, brother. Your whole speech that I just let you go went on for almost 4 minutes, brother. You could have said what you wanted to say in literally a minute and a half, man. Good God. Anyway, all right, so I'm going to save you guys even more time. Don't bother going to watch that 2.5 hour nonsense. And again, this isn't me saying don't watch Phil's content. I'm not saying that. I'm just going to save you some time because it was super boring. Now, there were a couple things, a couple highlights that popped out that were really funny. So, real quick, the interview was just them glazing each other. Wings of Redemption actually did come in and start pushing Phil. He talked about him trash talking him in comment sections or whatever. And of course, Phil tried to brush that under the rug and say, well, no, that's your trolls baiting you and all this, which is nonsense. We know Phil's been going around talking massive shit about Wings, about being fat. He's talked about his wife. He talked about how he's in bad health, how he's lazy. He's talked massive shit about him. When confronted on the stream, he tried to backpedal. He tried to backpedal like a little bitch, which is your typical DSP. So that was one thing. The other thing that came out of it, of course, was the WWE Champions reveal. Well, there was a portion near the end of the podcast where Phil, which I believe was staged. I think he had a conversation with Wings of Redemption, and he asked Wings of Redemption to ask him about this so that he can retcon WWE Champions one more time, right? And the issue was regarding how much did Phil spend on WWE Champions and how could he do that? And of course, Wings pushed him pretty good, and he knew the lore. The interesting part was that Wings did bring up the bank leaks, and Phil did not refute the bank leaks. He said, yup, To me, he didn't even bother waving that off or saying or correcting Wings and said, well, those were fake. You notice he stopped doing that. He's been not waving off the bank leak for quite a while. Before the interview, he would say, well, that was illegal. It's illegal regardless whether it's true or not. It was gained by legal means, so you can't use that in a court of law, whatever. Now, Phil, right? And now he's not even refuting it at all. The other thing was that Wings of Redemption told him, did you spend $100K? What's going on? And of course, the DSP was like, well, no, I didn't spend $100,000. That's only if you buy currency or game currency on your mobile phone. I actually had a shortcut. I went onto the Scopely website using my PC and didn't have to pay the 30% markup or whatever it is, which it isn't 30%. It's less than that, right? And it's, bro, get out of here, Phil. There is no way, regardless of whether you paid it using your mobile app or whether you paid it on your PC, it doesn't fucking matter, Phil. It doesn't matter. It's not that big of a difference. So if you spent, say, $100K, you would have spent $100K on your mobile phone, you would have probably paid about $90,000 on if you did it through your PC. So it's not that significant where you can try to make it seem like, well, I really didn't spend that kind of money. No, Phil, it's documented. Everyone knows. And of course, the bank leak showed that you spent $42,000 in a span of 18 months. And, we're talking, you've been on this mobile game for over 8 years. Okay, Phil? So if you extrapolate those numbers, you're close to $300K, brother. At least. And Doody tracks WWE Champions. I tracked it last year. He spent $42,000 last year on WWE Champions. This year, he spent about $20,000. So right there, just right there in those three figures, we have over $100K right there. Okay, Phil? The other thing, too, is that he actually tried to blame Panda Lee for his addiction, for his mobile game addiction. Oh, yeah, they were having rough times. They were roommates. There wasn't any affection. She was mistreating Phil, and that's why he fell into the mobile game addiction. Okay, Phil, yeah. You also blamed her for jerking off on stream. What else are you going to blame poor Panda Lee for? And if I heard that I was Panda Lee, girl, I know you don't want to be part of the vortex. I understand that. But this man has trashed you enough to the point where, you know what you should do? You should reach out to Keemstar, try to give 5K, 10K, and do a tell-all story on DSP. Just do it, because he's trashed you enough and blamed you for so much shit. He also blamed Panda Lee for why he was disliked. He was disliked because everyone hated her, so then they put the hatred towards her to him, which is bullshit, Phil. You were hated way before Panda Lee even became part of your content, right? She just added to the hate, okay? So don't retcon shit and try to blame her. Just because she's not there or won't defend herself, Phil, doesn't mean you need to use her as your shield. I found that to be so disgusting, Phil. And you know what, Phil? You should be fucking grateful that Panda Lee has decided not to get involved in the snort text, because she is the person that can fuck you over. Fuck you over to the point, bro, where you would be gone off the internet. And you should be happy and thankful that she put a period in that fucking void of a life when she was with you, and she found someone else. Now she's gonna have a baby, and she moved on, and she's doing great, and she doesn't even want to be bothered with it. You should be grateful, Phil, and stop bringing her up and blaming her for all of your problems. You were the one that had the addiction. You have the alcohol addiction. You have the DoorDash addiction. You have the mobile game addiction. Those are your choices. You made those choices, not Panda Lee, brother. And to sit there and to actually blame her is pathetic. Okay, Phil? The other thing that came about, of course, is Doody Streams came up. Doody Streams was part of the content. And it's funny, Wings of Redemption I've talked, me and Wings have talked on Discord and stuff like that. And he's asked me for some help and all this shit. And I've had cordial conversations with Wings of Redemption. Not that we're buddies or anything, but trust me, we've had combos or whatever, right? And he kind of defended Doody, that's right. And he started talking about Doody's wealth, which I don't think is germane to the conversation anyway. It doesn't matter what Doody's wealth or felt. Well, I guess what Wings was trying to tell Wings was trying to tell Phil is that not all detractors are mouth jewelers sitting in the basement doing nothing. Most of them are successful humans, right? That don't have to go around begging for money like DSP. Okay, what else happened? Let's see. Oh, yeah. After the show, he did the Decompression Depression stream where, he did what the side-scrollers did, right? Remember him bitching about the side-scrollers saying, well, the interview was fine. What I hated the most about the side-scrollers was that they made money. They made money off of me. They sat there for hours and read super chats that made fun of me, and they made all that money, and that was their plan. You did the same fucking thing, DSP. The first, I would say, $150 were troll tips. People trolling on Phil, calling him a finger sniffer and all this shit. And you sat there and you read it and you fucking laughed. You did the same exact thing. You did the same exact thing side scrollers did, where you crapped all over. So I never want to hear you ever bring up Craig or side scrollers for monetizing the hate. You did the same exact thing, bro. You monetized the hate off of Wings of Redemption. And you know what, brother? I'm not here to defend Wings of Redemption, but at least he came on. He gave you 2 hours of his time. He didn't ask for any money. And when you offered, supposedly, he said no. So, bro, you should chill with that shit. You don't need to fucking kick him, all right? And again, if we're weighing locales here and who's the bigger locale, you are by far the biggest locale. And you know what? Phil, of course, is boring as always. And Wings of Redemption came off okay. He came off okay. He was willing to press Phil. And yes, he did get some admissions about WWE champions. And it was fine. It was boring. I mean, it was 2 locales sitting there talking about their glory days, which of course is always fucking boring. And of course, who has the bigger trolls, which of course is fucking boring. And so there you go, folks. I saved you plenty of time. You don't need to go back and review that shit. You're good to go. You're all caught up, okay? The other thing that DSP proved is that drama works. That's right. He made $350 yesterday on his podcast. And why? Because he brought in another locale. Right, that's what he did. He brought in another locale. If he would have brought in, like, say, Gayho or Cyrax Toothless, his mod or whatever, he wouldn't have made that money. Nope, not at all. Sitting there talking about wrestling and Phil's glory days brings $0, Phil. So Phil just proved the point. What detractors have been saying, what Kino Kinos has been saying, is that drama makes money. And that's the reason why he did it. He wanted to act like, oh, look, I could do drama, but I could make it meaningful. And look, I made money. I was successful. No, Phil, fuck off, man, all right? People came in because they wanted to shit on Wings and give you money. The same way if you would have brought on LTG or whoever, his trolls would have came in, dropped money, just so that, they can shit on him. All right, Phil? So you, sir, are what I like to call a misery merchant, okay? Anyway, folks, that's it. I'm going to be streaming today at 10:30. Come check it out. We'll talk more about the interview, and we'll dissect what happened on the Level 1 Ton podcast. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Peace out.